morning.
Good morning.
Are you ready?
Yes.
We'll see. Okay. Today we're going to address a subject that is being scrutinized in the world today. And it has to do with spirituality without religion. How long has religion been with us? Too long. Well, the versions of the religions that are in control and offering up ways to the kingdom of heaven. It's amazing when we consider, under the auspices of religion, the atrocities that have been committed for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. Having this go out onto the wavelengths is certainly going to be an effect that will register in those who have a receptivity to giving consideration to what they are allowing religion to do to them and people that they know in their lives. When you look at religion from the premise of it is pushing a deity that is out there upon humanity and saying to humanity, you must worship this deity, which completely ignores the realization that the true sacred is found within us. And it's only because of our beingness that we're able to then have an appreciation for the spiritual. So it really is a matter of that aspect of our developed receptivity that is going to then show itself as our spirituality. We can't be any more spiritual than that part of our consciousness that embraces it. Let me give you an idea of something that just happened to me yesterday evening. I'm heading home, and I looked up, and here is the sun setting in the west, and a double rainbow in clouds that are being changed in their color through what we come to know or recognize as the spectrum, through the density of the atmosphere that allows all of this to come about. I happened to look around me and I saw most people weren't even paying attention to it. Which, if you take that as a cue, you can see how we have been programmed to bypass the sacred in the ordinary and just to go on about our own living. And religion has a lot to contribute to that lack of appreciation. Anytime you are considered to be a worm of the dust and born in sin, it's going to have a definite effect upon your appreciation of yourself as well as what you then consider to be around you. So think about it now. Look at your body. Your body has an intelligence that is vastly superior to your thinking mind. It runs all of these systems, it does all of these things, and it has an intelligence by which it does it. Your mind doesn't have that. Thinking thoughts doesn't accomplish that. We may be able to bring ourselves into a harmony where we generate certain frequencies that are going to perhaps enhance that, or generate certain frequencies that are going to deteriorate that, affect it. So we can affect, but the point is that the intelligence that runs our body is infinitely intelligent and of a magnitude of perfection beyond thought. And this definitely implies that being is sacred. But what is sacred? What does this have to do with spirituality? How is it we can bypass religion? And, oh, by the way, we will. Give another 100, 200 years, And what we know as religion today will no longer exist. And the reason is because humanity is waking up to a place of global consciousness, realizing that anything that takes away from the wholeness, the unity of humanity isn't worth embracing. Anything that causes separation and divide, that promotes war, that infiltrates itself into every area of human endeavor with a negative assertion is not valuable. So taking that into account, we look and we see sacred. What is sacred? Could it be just the recognition of a dimension of being higher than oneself, or perhaps beyond what we can currently conceptualize, what we can currently understand? If you open yourself up and begin to engage in living life from a premise of first person present tense, you're going to bypass many of the interferences that are there designed to keep you from recognizing who you truly are. Now, infinity, wow. Your relationship with infinity perhaps is not the same as mine. But if you've ever gone out into the night where you've had a clear sky, maybe you have to get away from the Bay Area, but clear skies do exist. They do. You get there, and you're going to look up and see just such a vast array of stars, of galaxies, that to the mind, it seems like, well, what's next? What's beyond? But if you are present with it, you're going to get an experience that reveals itself to you through you by helping you to see that even though mentally you can't comprehend it, it is not anything that is beyond your capacity to experience. And you see, this is where spirituality is rising, because humanity is saying, in essence, I want experiences that confirm who I am, that are life-affirming, that move away from all that is causing such great catastrophes in the world. Now, also in the next 100 years, we can expect to have a lot of things happen earthwise. If you're paying attention, there are constant informational broadcasts bringing to our attention that definitely global warming is occurring. And it's going to keep occurring. Even if we do have members of Congress who come up and stand on a podium with a snowball in their hand and say, there's nothing to global warming. This simply reveals the ignorance that is often supported by religion to keep people under control. Now, this may be a little unsettling to you. As a matter of fact, it may be more than a little unsettling. But the point is, let yourself get through that unsettled belief system so that you can actually get to the heart of the matter and begin to embrace life on a first-person present tense basis, to where you engage in connecting with life. And through your connections, you actually experience the spiritual yourself. You know, spirituality begins with a reverence for the ordinary. That's really where it begins. A reverence for the ordinary. I have often looked at this building and thought in many different considerations of how amazing it is that here are trees that made themselves available for this structure. And the living essence of their being is still present, as well as the architectural design, as well as all of the people who put this together, as well as all the other things that have gone into and make this what it is that we take for granted and say, it's ordinary. But you see, the point is, when you allow yourself to be present, you're able to look into the ordinary and find something there that gets your attention and causes you to realize it isn't ordinary at all. It is really quite profound. It leads us to a place of insights and experiences that are anything but ordinary. Each of us is identical to the very principle that brings value to the universe. Experiencing this directly, and I do mean directly, not just thinking about it, but experiencing this directly is what I'm making reference to so far as spirituality. This is the true beginning of developing and living a spiritual life. So I want to bring us to a really personal conclusion. Something in you in this moment is sacred. And only you can recognize it. Open your eyes so you can see. Thank you.
For more information about the Metaphysical Church of Enlightenment or the Rodin Foundation, please go to our website at www.rodin.org. If you have been inspired by the revelations shared in these podcasts, please donate to the Rodin Foundation's ongoing efforts to help others help themselves at www.rodin.org/donate.